So far, you know how to find the domain and the range of a graph. Remember the domain, you start on the left and then you go all the way to the right and see where it matches up on the x-axis. When you do the range, you go from the bottom up to the top because you need the lowest y value up to the highest y value. I'm going to show you an example of both of those two together for the same problem, and then we're going to continue with increasing, decreasing, and constant intervals, which is about to be on your worksheet. When you do the domain, start on the left, and what x value does that match up with? -1. So that's what I'm going to start with my interval with. Since that's an open circle, I'm not going to put an equal bar. X in the middle. On the right, it's also an open circle. When I match that straight down, that's at 10. I know that because these big dots go by fives. So 5, 10 is where it matches up with on the right. It's an open circle again. So once again, no equal bar. The range starts from the bottom and goes up to the top. The lowest part of this function, you need to match across to the y-axis now, is -1. Since there are not any open circles down here, you assume that it needs an equal bar. Y in the middle for range. Here's the top of the function, the highest point. When I match that across to the y-axis, remember the big dot's 5, so that's 6. The range goes up to 6. Has an equal bar because that's a closed circle. When you do increasing, decreasing, and constant, which is what is coming up on your second worksheet. Increasing, decreasing, and constant. Your answers are going to look just like the domain. They're going to have an x in the middle of all of them, and then I'll have a smaller number and a bigger number. They're just going to be sections of the graph. So let's go ahead and split those up. This section of the graph, think about it. Which one of these 3 words is this section? It's not increasing, it's not going up. This is a decreasing section. Here's the next section right here. The flat section is called constant. So I'm going to put a C right there. This section is going up. So I'm going to call this increasing. And then this section is going down. So I'm going to call that decreasing. The increasing answer is the next one we have to give. Just like when you did the domain, you're going to look where it matches up on the left and where it matches up on the right. The left side matches up right here, and the right side matches up right here. So we just need to figure out what this number is and what this number is. Remember, here's 5, so 6, 7 is what increasing starts with. Less than or equal to x, less than or equal to. Here's 7, so 8, 9 is where it stops increasing. So that's the increasing answer. When you do decreasing, we're going to go backwards to this interval, starting right here, stopping right here. That means starting at -1. Just less than, because that's an open circle. Less than or equal to, that's at +2. Look over here, there's another section that's going down. There are 2 decreasing intervals in this graph. So I'm just going to put a comma and then do the second one. This decreasing interval decreases from 9 to 10. Here's 9 and here's 10. 9 will have an equal bar because that's a closed circle, but 10 will not because you go from a closed to an open circle. So equal bar, no equal bar. Constant is the last interval you have to give. Come back up here to your graph. Where does it start on the left? Where does it stop on the right? It starts at 2, less than or equal to x. Where does it stop right here? Well, here's 5, 6, and 7. If that example didn't make sense to you, I need you to go back through and just watch it again, because repetition is the best way to understand something. Once you're ready to try one on your own, I need you on the front side of your paper to try this graph. You're gonna have to make some marks for yourself on the y-axis just because this copy doesn't have any. Doesn't really matter where they are, you just need to make some tick marks on there. Try this problem, and then you can turn your cup for me to come and look at what you're doing.